Anushka, congratulations on Sultan.
Thank you.
Okay, I really enjoyed the film. I totally bought into the love story.
But you are that
I'm that senti type.
single screen audience who watches the film in multiplex and
I'm
full paisa
totally-
vasool. You are that, right? Because I remember seeing a review of yours. I don't know which film it was. I think it was Gunde, which happens to be Ali's.
I told him that.
Film.
I just met him and I said, I'm the only one who loved Gunde
Yeah.
and people still judge me for it. But I'm fully single screen.
Yeah.
I really bought into it. I walked out of the film thinking, wow, it's the first time in a Salman Khan movie, you've got a heroine with heft and with a voice. And then I see the reviews and people really slammed into it and saying that, Arfa had this dream and she had this vision and she gives it all up. Did you see that coming?
Firstly, I don't think there were so many reviews that said this. They were barring like a couple.
But they said it's actively regressive.
Yeah, which I don't agree with.
You don't?
No, because what they're talking about is the fact that she gives up her dream. She's pregnant, for God's sake. What is the alternate? What could she do? It's not like she planned it and then she suddenly forgot that she has this dream in her head. It happened. So the alternate, like, what is it? Abortion? So I
Somebody
don't think
suggested that shouldn't
but
there
maybe-
have been a scene?
So isn't that a choice that she's made to not abort her child? So if a woman is making a choice on her own, I think that's definitely not regressive. I think that's something that she's decided at that point. Yes, I think when I heard the script, that bit was, for me, it was not like I was like, how's that possible? But that made me think before we started filming, when I was trying to understand this character, make this character, that if she has done this, what must have gone through her head? And it made me think, would I do this? So I questioned myself and I said, would I do this? Because I probably didn't think about it. But then when you understand the situation, it's not like she gave it up because he said, please give up your dream. It's because you have something that's happening in your life. And I have played this character, keeping that as one of this grudge that she holds against Sultan. So it's not just because her child died. It's also because she felt like she gave up so much for a guy who wouldn't give a shit about her. I think a lot of those people have not seen the end of the film, where she goes back to doing what she was doing. And sometimes you don't know, a death of a child can be a big thing for parents. Yeah, I mean, it could be something that I have heard of people whose lives are torn apart when their child dies, and they can't do anything. So if she is not doing something, if she's just helping her dad out and that's what she's doing and that's what she just wants to do, something to keep her mind off things, that's fine. That's also a choice. So I don't think it was regressive at all.
There was a column, Pradeep Menon, who's a first post columnist.
Who's the only person actually who said this? That's why I said there are not a whole lot of people. There's just this one person.
But he said that for him, the most disappointing thing was you. And the fact that you have chosen to do this film is actually like a step back for gender equality. Do you think we're reading too much into it?
Yes, we are, because... So what was Pradeep trying to say? So he's basically saying that to say that we are moving towards a society which is going to be gender neutral, are we saying that just means that a girl should just be like, I'm going to now not care about this kid and follow my life because that's right. That could be right for somebody, but it's not right for somebody else. And that choice and the ability to make that choice on your own, I think is a progressive step, not regressive. I'm like that's what I believe.
And it's equally empowering.
It is empowering, yeah. I mean, it's a child at the end of the day, for God's sake. I mean, maybe Pradeep is a man, so he doesn't really realize that. But as a woman, I would think about it. I mean, if tomorrow someone tells me I'm pregnant and I have a child that, and have a film that I have to complete, am I going to say that I'm going to abort my child and I'm going to do the film? Probably not, yeah. Maybe Pradeep didn't see too much into it because he was looking at it like over... just to see, oh, this seems wrong, it's a bit regressive. But if you go deep into it, which an actor has to, which I had to, which a director has to, then you feel that, yes, she would have gone back to her sport, but the kid died. So it changed her, it depressed her. She became a very, very sad person who was very pissed off.
But Anushka, the truth is that some of this is also a reaction to Salman's horrifically insensitive comment.
Probably.
About feeling like a raped woman when he was doing this film. Now, what was your first response to that?
firstly, I want to find out what it really would really
Right. What went
actually
down?
say this,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I wasn't there, and it was a print interview, I think, a group interview, which I'd also done a while back. So first was just to find out, is it really true that he said that? And quite honestly, after that, a lot has been spoken about it. I mean, we obviously all understand that it was rather insensitive. But now when I look at it today, when everything has happened and there were a lot of debates that happened on it and whatever else that took place, I feel like yes, it was insensitive, and something that I was a bit surprised by, that it was said the way it was said. And I think what it made me realize and made me think of is that all of us, like each and everybody, not just celebrities, have a responsibility towards what they speak in any place, not just publicly, anywhere, even with a group of 4-5 friends also. Whatever you say is you have to be aware of that. I think celebrities more so. We have to be more aware of what we are saying, and that is something that if you don't think of, you can be in a situation like this. Now, I don't want to get into what was going on in his head, what does he think about it, because that's something one should be asking him. And I cannot assess that because I don't know him that much. But yes, this has made me also realize that I'm sure there would have been some people who would have thought that, yaar, kabhi kabhi na humne bhi aisi cheezein boli hain. Because this is something that you hear people saying. You hear people say that, oh man, I just did this and I had such a tough day and I feel raped, and people say such things. So I think people must have realized that this is not something that can be taken so lightly, or not a word that can be used so loosely, you know. And I hope that is what people are going to get out of it, because when something like this happens, if I want to look at the positive side of it, because we know what's wrong about it, but if we want to look at the positive side of it, I hope people get to understand that please be careful about what you say, because this is a country that we're living in where we have to be extremely sensitive about such things, because we are going through a time and we have been going through bad times of basically women not receiving the kind of respect that they should, you know.
Did you ever think that I should ask him to apologize? Or do you not just know him well enough to do that?
I don't know him well enough, quite honestly.
It's not your place.
Yeah, I don't know him at all. I've worked on a film with him, and that's the amount of interaction I've had with him. And I find him a bit intimidating, because Salman is somebody
He is intimidating.
He's very intimidating, and he's someone who's not going to go out of his way to make you feel comfortable, right? Like, he's not going to do that. He's going to be himself, and he's going to just do his thing. And I'm very shy as a person, so I can't bridge that gap either. So I can't break that ice, because I'm not very good at it myself. So in any case, we don't have that kind of a equation where we have conversations. We have not spoken about anything, you know, in the time that I've shot a film with him. And we've always spoken in a group situation. There are Ali and there are ADs and all of that. So I don't have that. I don't have that place where I'm going to go and tell him that. And I think he's an adult man and he knows what he needs to do. And I don't need to go and tell somebody what they should be saying or thinking or doing.
But Anushka, as an intelligent, independent working woman, you know, negotiating the Hindi film industry must be like a minefield. I was told, and tell me if this is true, after our last interview where you were extremely vocal about the kind of gender disparity there is, that you actually got flack for it. Did you? Like within the industry? Did sort of people make snide remarks?
No, I think there was a lot of support also. Like,
there was. I saw the support.
Yeah, there was a lot of support.
In the media, there was huge support.
Nobody really went out there to like tell me that, you know, what have you said, or, you know, because I guess maybe they thought that they shouldn't. But I don't know what it was. But nobody has really come out there and like told me openly that this is what it is. But yeah, I think like thoda like sideway remarks and all. Are you happy with the room and stuff like that might have happened.
Correct. At least they are aware.
I'm like, great, as long as I get a good room, man. All worth the interview.
High five.
That's all I did. It for anyway.
Listen, the career is absolutely flourishing. It's amazing. I was looking at the films you are doing.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, to do on the one hand a film with Shah Rukh Khan, and then on the other hand to be producing and acting in a film like with Diljit and Suraj Sharma is just fab. Does it take a different muscle when you move between a superstar vehicle to a smaller, sort of more personalized kind of cinema? Do you bring anything else to the table?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the character, right? I mean, every film is very different, and not just because of the actors in the film, more
the
so
size.
because of the directors in the film. Every director is very different. Every director is, so far, and I have been very fortunate, and I've gotten to work with some really like terrific directors. I mean, like your Raju Irani, Vishal Bhardwaj, Anurag, Zoya, Adi Chopra, Yash, they're all very different from one another as people, the kind of films that they make. So you have to really fit into that mold more than anything else. And I think that kind of sets the entire, the vibe on set. And I guess it just depends on films. I mean, it kind of, like in a film like PK, Raju Irani, when I started acting, I was also doing Bombay Velvet at the same time. So obviously I was doing Anurag Kashyap's film where everything is internalized and like you're feeling everything inside and it's just getting captured. And then I came and I started shooting for PK after having shot for PK earlier. So when I went back on set, so I did something and then Raju Irani is like, Anushka, ek kaam kar. Yaar na Anurag Kashyap ko na bhul ja, mujhe na dekhna hai. So he's a director who has already edited the film. You have 1.5 seconds to give this reaction. Right, so with every director, you have to change your way of acting, the way you perform, and then obviously then you change how you are on set. So I think that makes a difference. I mean, apart from the fact that when I was shooting for Sultan, and they had like 3 cameras, you know, so I was just like, wow, ये होती होगी ना बड़ी film. 3 कैमरा हम लोग वहाँ पे struggle कर रहे हैं. Choti film. And when I was shooting for Filori, so there was one we were shooting in a place which was very close to Ludhiana. So I had to go from Filori set to Ludhiana for a week to shoot for Sultan. So when I was there, I was like, पानी लेके चली जाऊँ क्या? गाड़ी भर के पानी लेके जाती हूँ वापस.
यशराज का तो पानी चला लो.
और मैं कुछ देख रही थी मैं यार No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's like, yeah, I mean, when you're making a film on a budget, but then all that happens pehle se. Like then you know, then you have to make a film which is chota location ke hisab se and number of days and just like confined.
But it's a different adventure, right? It's a different high.
It's a huge kick.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And I mean, just being able to, just being able to create a film completely, you know, it's a big deal. And sometimes when I was on set, on Filori sets, I used to feel like, man, this is amazing. I mean, I've been a part of this from the beginning, and that feeling is, you feel a bigger sense of ownership and responsibility, of course.
You know, I saw this interview Diljit did in London, I think, and he's talking about, he said, तो अनुष्का का ना एक coach है. He didn't even say coach. He said, एक बंदा है जो तुम्हारी class लेता है. He said, coach? There's an acting coach apparently?
Meera?
मतलब on set there was an acting coach at Filori and he said कि मैंने कहा भैया मुझसे ये नहीं होगा. What happened?
So that's Atul Mongia. He's not my acting coach. Atul Mongia does workshops.
Okay.
So, you know, acting workshops that you do. So he'd done NH10 also with Neil and me. And some directors want that. They want to workshop the actors before. So we had hired Atul for everybody. So what happened was that he came to Punjab to do this workshop because I think the Diljit and that other actors' dates were such that it was just before the film started that we were going to do these workshops. So Diljit obviously had never known about workshops, which we had no idea about. Because in our industry, it's very normal for actors to do workshops, and that's what we do nowadays. So Atul walked in there, and I came a little late. So he just walked around, he came into me, he said, I don't think he's going to do it. I said, do what? He's like, workshops. I was like, why not? So he's like, I don't know, yeah, he's just... So I said, what happens? So what happens is that you do improvs in a workshop, especially like... because what happens is it helps you build a backstory for your characters. It helps you have like thoughts for your characters because you've gone through that journey beforehand.
Like right? A nuanced deep dive.
Yeah. So basically what happened was that because he plays a singer in the film, so Atul told him, he said, just imagine that there are these, it's an improv. So you imagine that there are all these people in front of you. So Diljit is sitting there and saying, Paji, but hai nahi. तो he's like, हाँ नहीं मुझे पता है, but तू imagine कर की है, then he's like, पाजी वो कैसे होगा? उसे try तो कर ले. He's like, costume भी नहीं पहना हुआ है. So he's like, पाजी तो costume पहन के मुझे acting करनी आती है. So Atul came and told me, he said, Anushka, I think Diljit is a costume पहन के acting करने वाला actor. तो ये थोड़ा मुश्किल होने वाला है. So Diljit just didn't do it. He didn't do the workshops at all. Like he said, यार मुझसे कुछ भी करा लो, मुझसे ना ये नहीं होगा.
He said कि मैं actor ही नहीं हूँ यार.
Yeah, and he said मुझे acting नहीं आती है. मुझे जो बोल देते हो मैं कर लेता हूँ.
Anushka, the last time we talked, you were very open about your relationship, okay? You said, in fact, you said something amazing. You said that you and Virat are actually the same person, but he has far more aggression than you do. Then I saw recently in interviews, you said, that's it, I'm done talking. I'm never going to speak about my relationship again. What has happened? What changed?
See, I think when I decided to talk about my relationship, I thought I was being how I am. I'm very open about the way I lead my life, and because I have really nothing to hide, and I can't be bothered with the pressures of leading an alternate life. So that's the reason why I spoke about it. But I did realize that I don't think everybody has the maturity to deal with an actor being open about their relationship, and they still behave like high school kids, like big newspapers and websites, and just getting excited about two people meeting somewhere and saying they met there, like big deal, man. Like, are you serious? Like, you have met somebody in some place and that becomes like a story? Like, seriously? Why are you still behaving like investigative journalists? Like, why? Like, what is, I said I am. And why are you still being like alleged and like, oh, I was seen somewhere, like, I was like some scoop. So I could be like giving my life's best performance. But that did not matter because me meeting somebody somewhere is clearly like a more interesting aspect of my life than anything else. So I think with actors, because we are part of entertainment, I think everything that we do becomes entertainment. Whereas we would like our work to be, taken more seriously.
So Anushka, you're also, of course, one of the youngest, or perhaps the youngest actress to be a producer as well. You're seen as a role model in this country. I think what you do is now also a larger thing. In a sense, you're representative of the next generation of heroines in the Hindi film industry. Does this at any point become a burden? Do you ever think about sort of what are the larger repercussions of what I'm doing? Do you feel the weight?
No.
Not at all?
No. I never think that much. Like literally, like I know and I've realized that is the way people think. So a lot of times when these questions used to be asked, I used to wonder, I was like, why are they asking me this question? Like, am I supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to be thinking about other things other than just what I'm doing? But I feel like that's just not the way I can be. I have never been somebody who's like, oh, these many years, this is what I want to do. Even the decision to become a producer with NH10 happened because of for a reason, And after that, when I realized that we were able to do it, then it was just like, let's do some more of it. So I've really been like that in my life. I've just followed my heart, and I've backed myself a lot. So if I believe something, I back myself. Then I don't think who has done it, what will people think, ask 17 people, what do you think? I don't ask anybody anything.
Really?
Nobody. No one. Not even Adi. I didn't even ask Adi when I decided to produce NH10.
You just do it?
I just do things. Yeah, if I feel, like I said, I back myself. If I feel confident about something, I go for it. And then I'm willing to obviously bear the repercussions also, whatever it is.
So if you had to give to all these women who look up to you and want to follow in your path, not as an actor, but as somebody who's leading the life that she wants to lead, what's like key to this? What's the one piece of advice you can give?
It's very easy to tell somebody, this is good, that is good, so you must do this. But I think what is very important, what has always worked for me, is right from the beginning, like my first film. At that time also, Anupama, I knew what I don't want to do. So it's very important to do that. Even when I'm making a character, like I'm developing a character, I'm like, this is what she will not do. Right? So taking from there, I just feel like accept your flaws, accept your mistakes, make mistakes. It's perfectly normal. You can't play it safe. I come from a middle class family. In my entire life, all that my parents have ever tried to do is just be safe. Right? That's what happens in middle class families, right? Like be safe, like ye ho jaye, bas ye safe ho jaye, wo safe ho jaye, because that's what we've learned. Security. I mean, we have to play. My parents were only talking about loans on the dining table, so it's all about safety. So I feel like maybe when I got that chance to be my own person, I realized that no, I don't want to be safe. I want to take risks and I want to do things and I want to, like I said, back myself. So I just feel like accept yourself completely and don't try to be this perfect person, this right person, this correct person. Nobody is right, nobody is correct. Trust me, the biggest stars that you all love, nobody is absolutely right. And everyone's making mistakes and it's completely normal. So accept that and accept that so that we're all actually the same. Just doing different things, exactly the bloody same.
You're just a taller, smarter, prettier version of all of us, right?
Pretty are you? Huh?
I'm going to go away with that thought that we're all the same.
We're all the same.
Thank you, Anushka.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Can you finish the coffee?
Please, let's. Oh, but कितनी गर्मी है यार.
क्या है यार? अब तो AC खोल दो यार, please.
हाँ, अब तो AC on कर दो, please. For more videos like this, hit the button below, subscribe to Film Companion and get your film fix.